think last year we got back from a tough tour to Sri Lanka, and it was probably a lot more glum than it probably is today. So I don't need to say how excited and how proud we are to have beaten Sri Lanka in both formats. The recent record of South Africa there for the last 20 years shows what a tough tour it is, and I can only be very complimentary of the way the playing staff have gone about the business over the last month. I think if I start with the one-day series, I think a lot of credit must go to the captain, AB. He's coming for, I can remember a year ago there were a lot of question marks, and the way he's led the side over the last year in series wins against Pakistan in Pakistan, the number one-day side in the world, India in South Africa, and now Sri Lanka in Sri Lanka, just is evidence of how far he's come as a leader and as the captain of the side. So a lot of credit must go to him. Obviously on the team's performance in terms of the batting lineup, Quinton de Kock, Hashim and AB were the three leading run scorers for us, and obviously played really well. But I think the most important thing for us was the structure of play that we put together. We seem to be devising a pattern of play that is becoming successful for us, and it's led us to win 12 of our last 15 one-day internationals, with one being rained off. So that's a big plus for us leading into a World Cup year. In terms of the bowling front, we played the three frontline test seamers for the first time consistently in the one-day format, and that paid dividends for us. Having Vernon, having Dale and Mornay playing together in both formats was a big plus for us, and probably one of the good big reasons why we did so well in this tour in the one-day series. Obviously, Jacques Callis played the three one-day games, and I'm sure there will be questions about Jacques, and he's come back home early to try and recover from a few niggles, and we need to touch base with him once I've settled in tomorrow, I suppose, and just checking how his recovery is going, and finalise selection for the one-day side leading into the triangular in Zimbabwe and for the one-day series in Zimbabwe. But ultimately, I'm very pleased with where we are in one-day cricket at the moment. Like I've said, we're starting to get some consistent pattern of play, and our big players are performing, which is very important for us. Then going into the test side, I probably don't need to say how tough it is to beat Sri Lanka there in the test arena. 21 years was the last win there. Alan Donald was still bowling 150 k's an hour last time they won there. So the way Hashim led his troops in his first test series was testament to the type of leader he's going to be, and he was able to get the best out of his players in tough conditions. They withstood serious pressure on the last day of a series winning test day, I suppose, and his calmness around the team is of massive value. There were obviously some outstanding performance, but the most notable for me was probably Mornay Morkel, who I think got 14 wickets, and he's often been the unsung hero for us in test cricket, but really came to the fore this last test series and was a handful for the Sri Lankan batters and played a big part in us winning the series. And look, the test side has now regained the number one test ranking, but we know we're not the finished article. There's still a lot of work to do. There's still a lot of tinkering to be done in the side, trying to find the right combination of players to go forward with. It's very much a new start with a new captain and one or two new faces in the team, and there probably will be not experimentation, but one or two opportunities for some younger players or some other players to try and make an impact in the test side going forward. We don't have many tests, but it is definitely still a work in progress. And whilst we are number one in the world, we know that we are still a long way from where we need to be in this format. But to win a test series, there is an experience that most of the players will cherish for a very long time, and can all feel very proud of that.